This is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, April 18th through Sunday, April 24th, 2016. So for this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot deck by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message. And your special message card this week is going to come from Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck. Now, there's one thing I want to say, a little announcement before we get into the astrology for the week and then looking at our message for the week. And that is that I try to change things up from week to week and how I set up for the weekly reading and for the monthly readings to kind of change up the energy every now and again. And I know some of you have asked questions about, why I choose the cards now early, or, why I might set it up this way or be in front of the camera some weeks. And that's partly because of, again, the changing energies that we're going through. I'm trying to just evolve and go with the flow and do what my angels and guides are guiding me to do. One of the other reasons why sometimes I choose the cards, as you can see here, I've meditated and already chosen the 3 cards for the main message, is that sometimes the astrology for the week, there's a lot going on like there is this week, and it just kind of helps with cutting down the time of the video. But I try to change it up, like I said. So we're going to be choosing your special message card based on your stone of choice, actually during the video. So I'm trying to make everybody happy by doing it one way one week and then doing it another way another week. So I hope everybody is okay with some of those changing and fluctuating energies. So let's go ahead and look at your stone of choice so you can think about what stone you want to choose for your special message card this week. The first stone of choice is golden calcite. This is a golden calcite pyramid, and they are all pyramid stones this week. And the golden calcite is going to be an energy that deals with the solar plexus chakra. This is your center of willpower. This is your center of courage. This is you kind of taking charge and being your own authority and really making choices and decisions in your life and making things happen. And also, it's an uplifting, more joyous, happy energy so that you can move forward in that lighter emotional feeling with confidence and assuredness. Your second stone of choice, the second pyramid of choice, is a clear quartz crystal point. And the clear quartz crystal is a magnifier of energy. So whatever your intentions are, it's going to magnify those intentions. So therefore, you have to be really focused on what your intention is and be really careful on how you're wording or thinking about your intention. This is also a really good stone for opening the crown chakra to claircognizant ability and bringing forth divine information from God's source energy universe. And there's an ability to, with all of these pyramids, there's an ability to kind of bring that energy down from God's source energy universe and then to manifest it out into the world or manifest it into your personal life in some way because of this point of the pyramid and bringing that energy down from spirit and then letting it kind of, again, have this sense of security and manifestation to it with the base of the pyramid. All right, your third stone of choice. This is an agate pyramid, and this particular agates come in all different colors. This actually has some red in it. It's got some black, it's got some brown, and it's got some white. And so this, to me, this agate, and I'm just purely going on intuitive messages that my angels and guides are giving me, but the red, of course, is a root chakra color, and this helps to kind of manifest, and it brings in energies of security. The brown also does the same kind of thing. The black energies, or the black stones, have an element of protection to them. So this is going to help to protect you from outside influences. And then, of course, the white, and if I turn this around a little bit, you can see more of the white here on this side. The white energy is, again, that higher energy of spirit, universe. And so there's this energy of, again, opening that crown chakra and bringing things down through the crown chakra to be able to then manifest. So there's all different kinds of energies in this one. as there is with all of them, really. So we have the golden calcite pyramid, we have the clear quartz pyramid, or we have the multicolored agate pyramid as far as your special message card. So let's talk a little bit about the astrology for the week. Now, this is a really powerful week, huge energies. We actually have a full moon in Scorpio this week, but we start out with Monday, the 18th of April, with Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, power and control, transformation, rebirth. This planet is going into retrograde motion at 17 degrees of Capricorn. So you're going to feel, even before Monday, you're going to feel this intensity of this Plutonian energy as it kind of rises up. Whenever a planet goes retrograde or it's getting ready to turn back to direct motion, you're going to feel the intensity of that planet's energy even more so. And just to recap from last week we saw Mars going retrograde, which is about forward energy and momentum and our physical energy and courage. And then we had Mercury also going retrograde last week, which is our mind, our thoughts, our ideas, communications. So those energies also were kind of highlighted hugely last week. But Pluto is a very powerful energy. Again, it's bringing transformation in our lives and transformation in the world on a big level. Pluto's big changes. So again, we're going to feel that throughout the course of a few days before and a few days after during this week, as we're building up to that full moon in Scorpio that we're going to have on Thursday. But also on Monday, we have Venus, the planet of love and relationships, and also the planet that rules our money and our finances and our personal resources is going to be connected to Saturn. And this is a positive connection. However, Saturn is also a planet that deals with lessons and karmic circumstances. So there's going to be things coming up or starting to surface, or maybe they already have started to surface. You're going to see just a little bit more focus on it about money and finances and relationships and partnerships, balance and harmony, all those things that Venus is about. Now, it shouldn't be a negative energy, and in fact I don't like to use the word negative anyway. You can say that there's positive and not so positive energies, or we can use the terms positive and challenging. This is actually a positive connection with Venus and Saturn. However, remember, Monday we also have Pluto going retrograde, so it's going to bring up maybe some power struggles. This might be within relationships about the elements of power being unbalanced, or there's not a sense of equality with you versus the partner, or you versus other people in your life, as Venus can be any kind of relationship that we're dealing with. But there's going to be some lessons and things that we have to pay attention to. Now on Tuesday, we have the sun moving into the sign of Taurus, and this movement of the sun from Aries to Taurus happens every year in April around this time, around the 19th, 20th, 21st, depending on the year. And Taurus energy, of course, is an energy of practicality, and it's a slower moving energy. It's a grounded energy. It speaks about security, both security within yourself, but also financial security, because Taurus is a money sign. So again, we have this theme that perhaps we have money things that are happening this week. Also on Tuesday, Venus now is in a challenging aspect to Pluto, which just went retrograde. So here again is this theme of some lessons or death and rebirth energies, or some potential challenges that come up within relationships in our lives, within our sense of self-worthiness, which Venus also rules, and also again with money and prosperity and abundance. Now on Thursday and Friday, there's a lot going on, and this is where our full moon in Scorpio is. And so it's a powerful full moon energy because, first of all, it's Scorpio, and Scorpio is probably the most intense and powerful sign in the zodiac, dealing with the subconscious, dealing with things that are hidden, dealing with other people's money and other people's resources. It deals with some of the shadow side things, the shadow side within ourselves, as well as the shadow side of things that are happening and going on the planet. Now, before this full moon happens, the moon actually is in the sign of Libra, which again is the sign of balance and partnerships and relationships. And that moon in Libra on Thursday before the moon actually moves into Scorpio, is going to be in a challenging relationship with Pluto and a challenging relationship or an opposition to Venus and then an opposition to Uranus. And then after our full moon, which occurs on Thursday, at 2 degrees of Scorpio, by the way, then we have Venus moving on to connect with Uranus, which is in the sign of Aries, the sign of the individual, the sign of me, myself, and it's all about independence. Uranus is an energy about independence, and Aries is a sign about independence. And here we have Venus coming up to meet that. Now remember, back on Tuesday, Venus was squaring or in a challenging aspect to Pluto, and then throughout Wednesday, Thursday, the full moon, and then Friday, now Venus is meeting up with Uranus. So what I'm gathering from all of this energy, a lot of it's Plutonian kind of energy. Pluto's involved in a lot of this. Venus is involved in a lot of this. So there's some big transformations and changes and redirections in our relationships. Now again, this can be family or friends, but also significant romantic relationships. There's changes and transformation and redirections. Also within money matters, finances, things that are focused on our possessions or those resources that we have, which again, finances or money is one of our resources. So there's also going to be huge changes and transformations here as well. Now, it's powerful enough with Pluto going retrograde and Venus with Pluto and Uranus and the moon with Pluto and Venus and Uranus, but then we have that full moon on Thursday. So it's going to be a hugely transformative week in some way, shape, or form. There might be some things or energies, maybe relationships or circumstances that we're needing to let go and release. Again, after the death, there's a rebirth. It's all about death and rebirth. And we can't bring in change or we can't bring in new energy unless we allow something old to fall away first. Now, a lot of times this is about our own subconscious patterns, our own belief systems, our thoughts, our own emotional nature. A lot of that needs to be transformed and transmuted so that we can allow for something new and better and bigger and brighter to come into our lives. So that's a little bit about the astrology for the week. Let's take a look at the first card for everyone as far as the message for the week. Okay, I am not surprised to see this card. This is Major Arcana number 16. It's the Tower card. Now, the Tower card is very Plutonian in its energy. Okay, Pluto, death and rebirth. The Tower card is about old structures in our lives that are falling apart so that something new can be rebuilt. Okay, usually when we see the Tower card in the tarot deck, it shows a building that's being hit by a lightning bolt, just as this one is. Oftentimes the building is on fire, which this one is. And in some cards, we see actually the symbology of the tower or the building crumbling and starting to kind of fall down. Now, this again is very indicative, and in fact we see kind of a shadow person here, or a person in the shadows. Since this is a nighttime kind of scene, this person is kind of falling from the building. So you're going to feel like your sense of security is crumbling beneath you. And I know that sounds scary, but it doesn't have to be. I know this card looks scary, but it doesn't have to be. This is just about the way that your life is, or the way that you're used to operating, or the way that you're used to believing about something is changing. Now the changes can actually end up, and most likely are going to end up being very good and positive changes. But a lot of times when we as human beings go through change, it's scary because we like things to be the same. Even when those things are not good for us, or even when those things pose challenges in our lives, it's a comfortable feeling because we're used to it. So all this is going to do is going to shake your life a little bit, and it's going to cause some huge changes and transformation. Now, this is also with the planet and humanity in general, as well as on a personal level. And that again, this all goes back to that Pluto going to retrograde motion on Monday, but we're going to feel it a few days before and a few days after, especially as that energy slows down, it intensifies that Plutonian kind of death and rebirth energy. But let's go ahead and take a look at the second card, and let's see if we can add some more positive energies to this situation. I don't want everybody to get all nervous because this change is going to be a good thing, I'm sure. Okay, so we turn over the second card and we have another major arcana. So this is indicative of it being a very important and powerful week. Whenever we see a lot of major arcana cards, there's a lot of soul growth and evolution that's going on. And this particular card is Major Arcana number 5, and in this deck it's called Guidance. Now in the traditional tarot deck, this card is called the Hierophant. And in the traditional tarot deck, the Hierophant is about, it's about following a conservative line of reasoning, or it's about seeking wisdom and messages from structures or organizations or people outside of yourself that seem to have an air of authority. This would be like seeking out information from, say, like a priest or a rabbi or even a counselor, or going to church and seeking answers, something to where there's a structured kind of energy to it. But if you look in this card, and what I like about this particular deck is that this card names it Guidance, and the symbology in this card is of a Buddha, and this Buddha is sitting in meditation. And we actually have even an image of the Sphinx energy above the Buddha's head, so kind of this higher vibrational, otherworldly kind of energy. And again, what I like about this card is this is actually saying that you don't necessarily have to seek the guidance outside of yourself, although you can, and it's okay if you need to. But this is about seeking guidance within yourself, as the Buddha does, in meditation, in contemplation, in silent self-reflection. The Buddha is looking for his own answer. Connecting with his higher soul self. He's connecting with God source energies and that part of him that is a part of the God source energies, and he's looking for the answers within. And with this huge change and transformation this week, with the full moon in Scorpio, with the beginning of this week being with the Tower card, which is indicating that we're going to have some huge changes and redirections, this is actually saying that you might want to go into that space of silence and meditation and seek some sort of guidance within yourself. Feel what is right. Ask your angels and guides to give you a sign. And I feel like you're going to get some positive messages and positive signs. If we look here, there's a lot of brightness, almost like the dawn of the day, There's clouds here in the background, but it's bright. There's some yellow, there's some oranges, almost like the sun is rising. And you're going to get that positive information and positive guidance that you're seeking to be able to move forward no matter what changes you experience, no matter what changes seem to come into your life or what redirections are imposed upon you. You're going to have the guidance, the messages, the information from within yourself and from God's source energies to be able to take that next step forward. Let's look at the last card and see how the week for everyone. Okay, we have the Nine of Flames, and the flame suit is the fire suit or the wands in the traditional tarot. So Nine of Wands, Nine of Fire, Nine of Flames. And in this deck, we have this warrior, this young man, this warrior, and he's actually holding one of the flames, and the other 8 flames are kind of just behind him, almost forming a barrier behind him. And if you look, there's actually a pyramid in the background beyond these flames of light. Now, flames are spirit. The fire suit is about the element of spirit, that spiritual energy, that spiritual power within us. And although this young man or this young warrior looks like he's been through a lot, He doesn't look particularly energetic, but he looks like he's holding his own, and he's, in a stance of security and stability. It's almost like he's trying to protect that pyramid, or, I almost get the word gateway here. It's almost like he's standing in front of a gateway to get to that pyramid, which could be a symbol of hope, or a symbol of blessings, or a symbol of traversing some rough terrain to get to the top, to get to your goal. And again, the spiritual element of God source energy, or spirit, your angels and guides, are supporting you in moving forward. It's like a protection barrier to me. This is like this protection barrier that this young man is holding on to, or that he has protecting him, but also protecting that pyramid, so that nobody can pass, nobody can take that away from him, nobody can create any sort of negatives for him, because he is protected and he is protecting what he's already created. So that's what I feel here. I feel like you need to have a sense of confidence and self-assuredness and groundedness, and come into a sense of security within you, because you're almost there. When we have the number 9, the next tarot card would be the 10 of flames, and then we go into the court card. So the 9 is one of the last digits here in the tarot of these cards, and it's signifying that you're almost at the end. It's almost the last number, so you're almost at the end of this long road, this arduous road, this challenging situation or circumstance. And you've gained a lot. You might be tired, you might be even a little frustrated, but you're definitely protected, and you need to protect yourself as well as protect, again, what you've worked so hard for, and feel self-assured, feel grounded in the fact that you're going to make it, that the change to move you to the goals, the spiritual goals that you're looking for. So I actually feel like this is a very positive message for the week, although, again, might feel like there's some challenging energies that you're going through. All right, so let's take a look at the special message card depending on your stone of choice. So I'm just going to here pick up the Angel Tarot deck, and we're going to ask for whatever messages. And that one didn't want to come out, but the message for the people that chose the golden calcite. I'm just going to look for either a card that stands out. There's a lot sticking up, but which one stands out? Okay, that one's coming out rather easily. The Magician card is the card or the special message for the golden calcite people, and this is Archangel Raziel. It says you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest those resources, and life is magical. So this is about using your powers of visualization. To me, whenever I see the magician uses his powers of visualization to manifest what it is that he desires. And this is definitely saying that you have the ability within you. You have the magic within you. Spread your wings like Archangel Raziel. Call in Archangel Raziel, because he's kind of that magical angel that's going to assist you. If you're looking for some sort of assistance or guidance or material resources, financial resources, Archangel Raziel and the Magician here is going to bring them in. Just as it says you have the resources or the ability to manifest them. So visualize it, know it, intend it, and you're going to be well on your way. This is a very, very good sign for you that blessings are on the way. So you just have to know it and see it and visualize it, create it. You might want to write down a list of your intentions for this full moon in Scorpio. I would suggest writing down first a list of what you want to release, and then write down a list of what you want to create. But this, to me, he's got a scepter in his hand, a magic wand, so to speak, in his hand. It's almost like he's parting the clouds and letting in some lighter vibrations, and I feel like that's going to happen for you as well. All right, let's take a look at the special message card for those that chose the clear quartz crystal. And this one's sticking up for clear quartz crystal people. This is the 7 of water, and the message at the bottom says, a complex decision, the need to do research and stop procrastinating. So whenever I see the number 7, I think of confusing kind of energies that kind of pulls us within ourselves. And the water element, of course, is about our emotions and our feelings. And so there's a lot of confusing emotions and feelings going on for you this week. There might be choices or decisions that you have to make. You can see all the cups in the background. Some of them are more in the background and shadowed. Some of them have little energies above them, different colored vibrational energies in the different cups here, which means you have choices to make. And you might have to really pull back your energies, go within, do some meditation, do some self-contemplation. It's interesting that it's in front of the guidance card, because the guidance card is about meditating and going within. The number 7 is about meditating and going within. Again, doing research. Now, if this is about maybe goals or projects or career, again, you might need to do some sort of research to find out more information. But I feel like this is probably more about relationships, whether it be family or significant other relationships, because of the emotional nature involved here. It's something to where we feel emotionally tied to, that's causing the confusion, that's causing a little bit of the upsetness and not knowing what way to go or what to do. So you just go within and connect with your higher soul self, because your higher soul self has the answers that you're seeking. Okay, it's about what feels right. The emotional realm is about what feels right. So when you contemplate different directions or different decisions that you might make, you then kind of tune in as far as, how do I feel about this decision? Do I feel like my stomach's tightening up, and do I feel anxiety? Well, then that's probably not the right decision. Do I feel a sense of peace? Do I feel a sense of balance? Then that probably is the right decision. But the trick here is that first you have to be centered and grounded first. You have to be connected to your spiritual nature, your higher soul self, which first means that you have to really kind of go into that meditation, contemplation aspect, to kind of disconnect from the ego mind and to connect to your higher soul self. All right, and for those of you that chose the multicolored agate pyramid, so let's take a look at multicolored agate pyramid, people. The message is the 3 of air. And the 3 of air says, great sadness, take time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. Okay, so I feel like whenever I see this particular card in this particular deck, I always think of family patterns, because it has like a mother and a father, unicorn, and a little baby here. So I always think of family dynamics and family patterns, family belief systems that we inherited now as an adult. So there's something here as far as what's going on this week, what's transitioning or transpiring this week is connected to certain belief systems that you learned as a child growing up in your family system. And there's still a need to kind of heal some of those. It might be some self-worth issues. It might be that you don't feel worthy enough. It might be that you've got certain patterns regarding relationships or certain patterns regarding career dynamics. Whatever it might be, there's something here to where you need to forgive yourself, and you need to forgive your parents perhaps, or you need to forgive other people in your life, maybe forgive old relationships. There's a lot surrounding forgiveness here, and this is part of that letting go, that transformation and letting go aspect of Pluto this week. So allow yourself to heal. The sadness is coming up because there's something that you need to let go of as far as, again, an old way of thinking or believing about yourself or about your life, because you're worthy and deserving of everything you could possibly want. And even though it seems like some things are changing or some things are being released, this is opening you up to something bigger and brighter in your future. And it might not be in the far off future either. It's just a matter of perspective. It's a matter of how much you're willing to go within and understand what these patterns are of worthiness or deservedness in your life, and then to allow that healing to take place. And again, maybe you need to, even in going back to family system stuff, maybe you need to talk with your mother or your father or other people that this healing is connected to. Maybe you need to write them a letter, and it doesn't mean you necessarily have to send it, but there's something here to where and I would say this new moon in Scorpio is a wonderful, wonderful time, a great time to kind of purge this out and transmute those those old energies and beliefs. All right, and also remember they're saying that the number three is about expansion and growth and abundance. And so after the allowing of the releasing of these energies, you can then look forward to bringing in a new, more optimistic, expansive, and positive way of thinking and believing. So they wanted to make sure to add that message on as well. So I hope everybody has liked this weekly reading. I'm sending you a lot of healing energy this week, a lot of love and light. I want to thank all of you for all of your comments and sharing of my videos. If you're new to this video, you might want to check the information below the video as far as what my Facebook pages are for daily inspiring posts or daily astrological posts, as well as where you can find all of my weekly and monthly and soul reflection videos, and where you can find me in other spots as well, such as my website. So sending you all much love and light, many, many angel blessings.